Thursday night then, people, and it's me, Reidy, with your latest episode of Beat the First Man. Tonight we bring you another old footballer to guess the age of, we give you another new tune to listen to and see what you think, and all the usual nonsense we bring you. That this show has literally become over time. So what are we waiting for? Roll the new shorter titles. Yes, new shorter titles. So there you go. You're into the show much quicker these days. You don't have to sit and wait through all of them. Episode 63. Welcome on board the BTFM bus as always for your usual top class journey of the week through the weird and wonderful that is football and music to a little extent. If you are new to the bus, welcome on board. Do not forget to click the subscribe down below. That's very, very important. It means you won't miss another episode. Click the little bell as well, because that will give you the reminder when I drop another episode. But most of all, get involved. It's your show. I want it to be your show. Leave your comments below what you think. Drop me those. Anything you like. Messages, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. But please, marketing companies on Instagram, no more. This is my budget for this show. Okay, we got the message? Excellent. We'll move on. So guessing game time then. We prepared to put a picture of an old footballer up on the screen. All you have to do is guess how old he was when the photo was taken. So as always, let's find out more about our man before we start. He started at his hometown club of Chester. He secured a switch to Luton Town where he made over 130 appearances for the Hatters. From there he had spells at Manchester City, Oldham Athletic and Derby County before he found his home at Oakwell and the boys from Barnsley. He made 230 appearances at the heart of their defence. Never scored a goal. He then moved on again, a brief spell at Halifax before he found a home at Grimsby Town where he now resides as a club legend. He made a further 132 appearances there. He also managed 11 appearances for the England under-21s. Should give you some idea of the quality he was thought of as a player. So a career which saw him make over 700 appearances for various clubs. But of course what we want to know is when this photo of Paul Futcher was taken, how old was he? Quite simple. So answer will be revealed later on in the show when Ted will be along to give us a helping hand even, or paw. So after a couple of weeks of frustration on the Stoke Gabriel front, we had single goal defeats for the last 3 games. The last 7 days, sadly, it's been I hate to say it, a little bit more of the norm. So last week at Axminster, it was a 4-0 reverse, unfortunately. So we still remain bottom. But because the defeats are a bit smaller, it's only goal difference keeping us on the bottom. So if we could just keep those down, if Sidmouth could get a few wallopings, it's going to start getting quite close down the bottom. In the Cup in midweek, they travelled to a higher level club, Bideford, in the Cup. Now, to be fair to them, they put up a hell of a fight. With 15 minutes to go, it was only 3-0. It did finish 6, but it was only 3-0 at that stage. This week they are back on the road. It's a trip to Holsworthy, who currently are sitting 14th in the table. Is this the week for the first away points of the season? Let's hope so. Come on, the Stokey boys. So the road to Wembley. Last weekend, as you know, it was the FA Cup. Our boys from Kings Lynn Town, we had them on here. They weren't very confident, were they? Let's be honest. We tried to pump them up, and but unfortunately, they went down to a 1-0 defeat. My prediction of a 1-0 win and a Junior Moraes goal failed to come to fruition. So we lost Kings Lynn Town. So we now follow the Saddlers of Walsall. So the challenge was always going to be on to see if we get someone from Walsall. So 2 things. First of all, the draw. So they drew Swindon Town at home. Now, as a boy who resided just outside Oxford for a long time, this is an interesting tie. I've had a few Twitter messages already from my Oxford friends suggesting that we should not be backing Swindon even if they beat Walsall. Anyway, the good news is we've got someone from Walsall coming on. He runs the Vital Walsall site. His name's Rob. They're a bit more closer to the time, but they have agreed to come on. So we have a Walsall fan coming on here before their big game with Swindon Town in the second round, where the prize of the third round will await both teams. This week it's the FA Trophy again. Christ, it comes around quick, this road to Wembley, Lark. I think we'll just do 1 cup next season, if we're still here. Our boys from Dunstan UTS, we've been with them since the start. This week they travel to Marine. It's a difficult tie. Can they keep the run going? It's the opposite to our FA Cup curse. The FA Cup, every team we follow seems to go out in the next round. Dunstan UTS are the opposite. We've been with them all the way through so far. So can they break the curse and carry the baton further still? But as always, Wembley, Wembley, we are beat the first man and it's the road to Wembley, Wembley. And relax. So here's something we haven't listened to for a little while. Yes, Tales of the Unexpected. To be honest, there's not really much to talk about this one. I'm going to put the video up. Hopefully it stays up. If not, I'll slide the pictures in instead. I don't know the game. I don't know the teams. It's probably best you just see for yourselves. Wow. I mean, just wow. Yeah. Let's have another look in case you missed it. Yeah, my neck is actually hurting in sympathy. I feel for the poor man. I understand he's alive. I've not read anything to the contrary, so we'll just presume he's got a bit of a neck ache. You know, like when you wake up in the morning and you've slept funny on your pillow. But yeah, Jesus Christ, what a tackle. What was he thinking? What was he trying to do? That's what I don't understand. So there we go. That was Tales of the Unexpected. It's been a little while since we've had one of those, so it was nice to bring that bad boy back. One of the original features from episode 2, I think it was, we dropped that one in. So easy like Sunday morning, our newest feature. Last week we talked about pre-match rituals part 1. This week it's pre-match rituals part 2. So we've arrived at the ground. We have our 11 players. We get into the rundown dressing rooms, which 99 times out of 100 they were. Holes in the ceiling, no heating. Luckily, if you had benches, hangers to hang your clothes on, you've got to be kidding. First things first, the kit scramble. So there's always kit missing. Always kit missing on Sunday morning football. So you don't want to be the one who hasn't got the shorts, and you end up having... So the sensible ones would have packed a spare pair of shorts in their own bag. But there's always a scramble for a pair of shorts. There's always a pair of shorts where the elastic's gone. So literally you're hoping that they stay up, and you're hoping one of the bigger lads in the side hasn't had them the week before. So that was always an issue. You've always got the socks that don't match. Yellow one, blue one. That was always an issue. So pack some socks as well, the sensible ones. And those that have been washed and those that do match will have been washed in starch. So trying to get them over your feet and up your shin pads was quite simply Mission Impossible 5, the new Tom Cruise movie. Genuinely, if you haven't played this, you've missed out on a whole world of things. So then it's time to fire up the tunes. And of course, Sunday morning football, fire up the tunes. It's not what you think it is. It's like S Club 7, shit like that. That's what it was that went on. You just sit there in total disarray. So what you then got is, remember last week where you had some that would turn up early, some that would turn up late, some that wouldn't turn up at all. The warm-ups follows a very similar theme. Some would go out and warm up. Some would stroll out just before kick-off and do nothing, kick a ball if you were lucky. Some, they would come out literally as the starting whistle was going for the game. If you were very, very lucky. They might even come out just after kick-off. There was certainly no rush for warming up. Most of the warming up was done in the change rooms with the application of deep heat to said muscles. That was the warm-up. So there you go. There's one last thing that always had to happen in the change rooms. The gem that was, and excuse the pun, the valuables bag. So, first things first, who has a bag? Nobody ever had a bag. So you're scrambling around trying to find something to put the valuables in. You've only got 11 players, so you pack the valuables in this bag that you've found. You've probably got a few £100 in cash between the 11 players, all the jewellery, car keys, house keys, all in this one bag. You have no subs, you have nobody there watching you. You put the bag on the sideline because that's perfectly safe. Rational thinking from Sunday morning footballers. So there we go. So it's kick-off time. And next week, we will delve into the murky world of Sunday morning assistant referees stroke linesmen. And boy, oh boy, what a murky world it was. So there we go. That's easy like Sunday morning for you. That's this week. So Dad v Lad Fantasy Football after my defeat by 1 point last week, the most frustrating thing ever. Let's see how we got on this weekend just gone. So let's head across for a bit of Dad v Lad Fantasy Football. So here we are then, another Dad v Lad Fantasy Football with me, Dad, and Kian. Lad, Kian, how are we?
Not bad.
Good stuff.
Not too bad.
Anything exciting planned in the next few days you want to share with the watching public?
So off to DMAs tomorrow, which is good.
We are indeed. Another Beat the First Man night out. DMAs
exactly.
By the time this show goes out, it'll be too late for you to come and meet up with us because this goes out at 8 o'clock. And I think the second support act will probably be on by then.
You might have some fans there. You never know.
You never know. It's any photo opportunities. I'm more than willing to happily. So let's get on to the real reason we're here, Kate. Fantasy football. Let's see how we did last week. So the bad news is last week, again, you just beat me.
I'm not sure why that's bad news, really.
Well, it's obvious why it's bad news because I've been beating you week in, week out for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So 57-50 to you. I'm absolutely raging. It was 1 point last week, 7 points this week. So let's go through the team. So who was your star last week then?
Once again, there was a few.
Yeah.
Alexander Arnold, he got me 12.
Yeah.
Rafinha, who was like God, got me 9. And then Ben White as well, he got me 8.
Oh.
So that's
well, I had Salah got me 10. Rafinha got me 9. Livramento and Diaz both got me 6. But I'm a little bit fuming with this one. So if I'd have put Ben Foster in goal, he would have got me 11 points.
Yeah.
But instead, I've got Martinez of Villa, who got me 2 points. So Foster in goal would have actually won me the week.
But who's mad enough to put him in goal?
Oh, I did think that. So overall, that leaves us now. You are in 15th place, a Leeds fan in 50. Yeah. Who knew? Our famous trusty position that we love.
Gotta have one of us there.
You're on 591. I am in 18th place, position that we don't want to be finishing. On 569 points. So I am literally 22 points behind you after 11 match days. So an average of 2 points a week you're beating me by, which is ridiculous.
That's fine by me.
Ridiculously close. So we've got joint leaders at the top. So I think it's only right that we nip in and see the joint leaders team. So we're going to take our new joint leader, who's a person that we both know. So Nick Campbell is joint leader now. So he's got Mendy in goal.
Yeah.
Rudiger. Cancelo got him 14 points. Livramento got him 6. Rafinha got him 9. Trossard got him 10. Ben Rama, Salah got him 10. Smith Rowe got him 8. Ronaldo got him 1 and Antonio got him 2. And again, if he'd have put Ben Foster in goal, he'd have got another 9 as well.
He's probably battering me in my other league with him as well. This is the problem. I'll just have a flick through. He's top of that by like 100 points.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying. So he's joint top now with Gary Hamilton and his Carjar Warriors who have been top all season, which is pretty impressive stuff. So the bad news is, the sad news is we have got no fantasy football this week because it's international break. So no transfers to be done till next week. So your usual quick review of the international fixtures. What's going to happen this weekend?
They're just all a bit shite, really, aren't they?
You don't care, do you?
No.
I mean, England, San Marino. It don't get much bigger than that, surely.
Yeah, but if we don't score 6, I'll be disappointed.
I mean, to be honest, if you don't get 8, that's a little bit embarrassing. But the big game is on Friday night in Chisinau. So Moldova, Scotland. Scotland need to basically match what Israel do to clinch the playoffs. Are Scotland going to win in Moldova?
Yeah,
no Lyndon Dykes. No Lyndon Dykes.
Oh, that's shocking then. You definitely won't win now.
So I think it might be a 1-1 draw. I'm not going to lie.
You don't think it'll beat them?
It's got a 1-1 draw written all over it. We're going to scramble a last-minute goal and draw 1-1. And then Israel will lose to Austria. and we'll qualify for the playoffs by the advantage of getting a 1-1 draw in Moldova.
You should beat them, really, but
We should, but I've been following Scotland for nearly 50 years. I know how this plays out. So there we go. So it's a much, much shorter fantasy football Dad v Lad. You can see Kian later on in the show when he's got a new tune for Listen Up. You're going to give anyone a little preview of what it might be, Key? Little teaser?
Well, I'm definitely not going to sing it.
No, a little teaser.
I can just hold on.
Is it a solo artist?
There is your teaser is on the t-shirt.
Oh, teaser t-shirt. So that's clearly Liam Gallagher. So there's your teaser as your Listen Up tune for this week. So later on in the show, Kian says Listen Up. But for now, Kian, enjoy the DMAs tomorrow night. I'll see you there. And it's back to the show. I mean, it's just cruel, isn't it? 7 points. 7 points. So international break this weekend, so at least my pain won't happen this weekend. No agonising defeats for me. At the top, as you heard, Gary Hamilton and Nick Campbell are now neck and neck. Bang on level points after 11 games. And at the bottom, Trish Barrett is now just 51 points adrift, having closed the gap a little bit last week. But the championship is still looming large. Anyway, it is that time of the week where a teddy bear strolls on screen, drops some sarcasm and disappears. How are we, Ted? All good, Reidy? What's all this about sarcasm? Who's being sarcastic? Ted, I don't mean to be funny. Why start now? There you go. You prove my point with just 3 words. I wasn't being sarcastic. You just aren't funny. You're the straight man. Ted, since you joined the show way back, episode 4 or 5, I think it might have been, sarcasm has been the mainstay of your comedy element in the show. Reidy, I would like an apology right now. That's a slur on my good name and character, and quite frankly, I'm offended. Offended, Ted? You? Well, I thought we'll go all snowflake for you. No, Ted, we aren't heading down that route. Anyway, have you got any nominations for your Little Knob of the Week award? Well, Reidy, it wasn't that easy this week, but thankfully a collective came to the rescue. Oh, a collective, Ted. It's been a little while since we've had a collective. So who are the lucky recipients of your Little Knob of the Week trophy? Norwich City FC. But Ted, they won. They won their first game of the season. You lead me brilliantly to why they won it, Reidy. Of course, Ted. So, having gone 10 games without a win, it's fair to say Daniel Farke was a man under pressure. And if he'd been sacked after any of the first 10 games, you could have understood the decision a little bit. So last week they went to Brentford, they produced an excellent display, winning 2-1, a ground where not many teams have done well this year. Bigger teams than Norwich have lost there this season. It's been a struggle for many sides playing there, but they went there and they won 2-1. So what do Norwich City FC do? Yeah, they sacked Daniel Farke, of course they did. I mean, the timing is a little bit staggering to say the least. Like I said, the reason they've done it, we all know the reason they've done it, because the international break is coming up, so it gives them 2 weeks to find somebody. But the timing of it is just a little bit crass, I'm not going to lie. They'd obviously made their mind up for the Brentford game, so why not just fire him out then if you're going to do it? So for that reason, without a doubt, it has to be said, Delia Smith and Norwich City FC, you are this week's Little Knob of the Week winners. So Ted, you back later for How Old the Reveal? Oh yes, I can barely wait. My favourite part of the show, so captivating and interesting, just like the rest of it. About that sarcasm that you don't do, Ted. Yeah, I thought you might disappear somehow.
Lookalike EE.
Ah, there it is. Yes, Lookalike EE. I mean, can we top last week's Mesut Ozil and Enzo Ferrari? It is going to take some beating. In case you missed it last week, here's Mesut Ozil and Enzo Ferrari. I mean, that's brilliant. But this week's is also not bad. It's a striker who played for Southampton and West Ham. He was famed for his effort, his hard work, he gave everything for whatever club he played for. And he looks a little bit like a Hollywood film star. So without further ado, here's this week's
Lookalike EE.
Yes, indeed. Ian Dowie and Sloth from the Goonies. That is an absolute belter. Yes, I thank you. Thank you. I thank you. And I will celebrate the fact that I've just given you 2 brilliant Lookalike EEs in 2 weeks. Come back next week. I'll bring you another. That's how this show rolls. More every week. More. So, Last week, Kian was on here and he gave us the excellent debut single by Tom Mayen, me and Megan, whatever you want to call it, the ex-bloke from Kasabian. This week is Listen Up track. Well, let's go and find out who it is, sorry. It's Kian Says, Listen Up.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of, well not episode, just like a little instalment of Kian Says Listen Up. And this week's song is from two legends. I mean, one of them was on the wall on my shirt and the other one was just in an equally as good band. So you got Richard Ashcroft and Liam Gallagher. They did a cover of Ashcroft's earlier song, Come On People, We're Making It Now. It's on his Acoustic Hymns album. It's really good. It's definitely worth a listen. I mean, if you like them both, then what's not to love? So yeah, go over there. I've forgotten the name of the song now. Come On People, We're Making It Now. Ashcroft and Gallagher. Give it a listen. It's brilliant.
There we go then. Two musical geniuses join forces. The brilliant Richard Ashcroft and Liam Gallagher teaming up to bring you Come On People, We're Making It Now. Get over and give it a listen. It's a wicked tune. If you like Richard Ashcroft and Liam Gallagher, by God, you'll love that tune. So the Lineal European Cups, well, sad to say, the run of Freiburg has finally ended. 9 defences of the trophy. They went to Bayern Munich last weekend. They lost 2-1, an agonising 2-1 defeat. One more goal, a 2-2 draw. They would have kept the trophy. But alas, they've lost it. It's back in the hands of Bayern, and we know how long it took us to get rid of them last time. They won it. They had it forever. So Bayern Munich are now the holders. Their first defence next weekend, because obviously it's the international break. They face a little trip to Augsburg. So can Augsburg create a shock and take the Lineal European Cup off of them? Well, it's all changed because the Lineal UEFA Cup also changed hands. So Hoffenheim, they only had it for 1 week. Well, they went to Bochum and they lost 2-0 and lost the trophy straight away. So no holding on to it this time for Susanna Hoffenheim, our old friend. So Bochum, how long will they keep it for? Well, they got a difficult start. Their first game is an away trip to Bayer Leverkusen. So that's not going to be easy. So Bochum and Bayern Munich are your current Lineal European Cup and Lineal UEFA Cup holders. Check out the scores next weekend after the international break to see who keeps the trophy after that. So Mr. Sarcasm is back then, ready to guess the age of this week's How Old then, Ted? Mr. Sarcasm, I think you'll find it Sir Sarcasm to you. I thought you weren't being sarcastic, Ted. Me, never been known. See, you can't help yourself. Even when you're just talking normally, you slide into sarcasm mode. I slide into nothing other than Foxy Bear's DMs on Instagram. Say, Ted, Jesus Christ, enough. So let's have your guess for this week then. Reidy, as I've said loads of times, it's a stupid game, so I don't know, 31. Okay, well, Ted, let's see. When this photo of Paul Futcher was taken, he was 31, Ted. He was 31 years old. Ted, you've only gone and got it right. Bloody knew it, Reidy. Master of this game I am. It's all about taking your time, studying the facial lines and thinking sensibly. Ted, you, for the last few weeks, been saying this is a stupid game. Why'd we bother doing it? Oh, it still is, Reidy. I just got good at it. Brilliant. Right, Ted. See you next week then. You will indeed, Reidy. 31 in your face. Brilliant. He gets one right in all these weeks. That's what we have to put up with. Ted will be back next week with another little knob of the week. Drop your nominations down in below after the international week. See if you can find somebody out there in international football who deserves the little knob of the week trophy this weekend. So there we go then. All done for another week. Hope you've enjoyed the usual silliness and hopefully a bit of fun that we bring you. If you fancy coming back for more, make sure that you are on board the BTFM bus by clicking subscribe down below. If you're new on the bus, welcome on board. If you've remained on the bus, thank you once again as always for watching. But for now, all on board the BTFM bus. Next stop, ding ding, will be Thursday the 18th of November for what will be episode 64. So for now, everybody, stay safe.